Hey you guys, what is up? I want to talk to you real quick about painful periods. I did a podcast on this, I guess a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to go live to talk with you about it because it's so important. And women go through this issue quite often, and there's more than just a diagnosis of endometriosis or fibroids. Yes, there's other conditions and issues that could be causing painful periods. Always partner up with your OB that you trust. I know that I have one that I trust. But there's also different reasons that a functional nutritionist or dietitian can help you with. Because like I always say, diet is so much. It's a foundation. I was going to say it's everything. I wouldn't say it's everything, but it's the majority. And so I wanted to bring my experience to you to tell you this is what I see in practice of women that have painful periods. So I want to encourage you to never stop looking for the answer. So my number one thing that I love to do if you have painful periods is I love to make sure that you are optimal in all your nutrients and nutrition. And so I see a lot of micronutrient deficiencies with painful periods, magnesium being one of them, which magnesium is needed for optimal muscle contraction. Vitamin D deficiencies are very common and also have been linked to painful periods, as well as vitamin E, which is a powerful antioxidant, fat-soluble vitamin, but also linked to painful periods. So does this mean that you should go out and get all these supplements and take them? Probably not. Could be a good place to start, but you could also leave yourself very frustrated because something that I hear a lot and see a lot is people hear a list of supplements that relate to their condition. And they're like, okay, I want to give it a try. I see this with like ADHD. And people aren't too sure of what brand is good and what you should be looking for, but they go out, they try their best, and they get one. But then they are frustrated because like, it must not be that because it's not working. But there's a couple things that can go wrong with that is that it's not the right dosage for you, or you might not even be deficient in it. So you're wasting your money on supplements that may not even be necessary for your body. So this is why we do micronutrient testing in our practice, because we want to make sure and look at everything to make sure what are you deficient in? What is the dosage that's going to be good for you in the sense of nutrient supplementation, and how do we go from here? So that is one way that we love to bio-individualize working with you. The second thing is estrogen dominance, and estrogen dominance can happen. But hold on, side note, estrogen is awesome. We need it. I'm not here to demonize it. A lot of people do because of breast cancers and all these other issues. Estrogen is awesome and we need it. Moving on. Estrogen dominance can happen in a couple different ways. It can happen with having too much estrogen, obviously, but it can also happen with not having enough progesterone. So your estrogen and progesterone levels are, well, the ratio between them really isn't optimal. So my favorite way of looking at hormones is the Dutch testing, which is a dried urine hormone testing. So we can take a peek-see to see what your hormones are doing. And how can food help you? If you work with a functional medicine doctor or an integrative practitioner, they can also use these Dutch results and give you prescriptions and maybe something of a medical side, but we don't prescribe. We're not doctors, so we are all about the food. All about the food. Diet is really important for estrogen and how we metabolize our estrogen. And there's different pathways that our estrogen can metabolize, and certain things like cruciferous vegetables can be really helpful in maintaining proper detoxification of our hormones and choosing better pathways. So estrogen dominance is number 2. And then number 3 is prostaglandins, which prostaglandins, I'll start off with, you've heard me talk about omega-6, and you've heard me talk about how omega-6 can be inflammatory to our body. It's pro-inflammatory. Also not here to demonize omega-6 because we still need it. We need omega-3, we need omega-6, we need omega-9s, but just like with estrogen and progesterone, it's all about balance with the omegas. We want to make sure that we are balanced. And so prostaglandins are made from omega-6. And what these prostaglandins do is they help with smooth muscles contract. They help inhibit platelet aggregation. They do play a role in inflammation, but prostaglandins also help our body shed the blood when it's time for our period. So, hello, period. So prostaglandins have a place. A lot of things in our body has a place to be there, a natural mechanism. But having too much prostaglandins can create a painful period. And so what that can mean in the diet sense is that we want to make sure that your diet, along with supplements, but diet first. I'm not here just to put a Band-Aid and throw a supplement at you. They are helpful, especially when you know which ones you should be taking. But the diet needs to be addressed too, because our Western standard diet is so full of omega-6 and not enough of omega-3. So we need to optimize our fatty acids that we're getting or consuming through our food. So another thing outside of optimizing our fatty acids is seeing what our body, what foods produce inflammation in our body. This is a very bio-individual approach. That's why we have food sensitivity testing. We like to dig in, see what foods work best for you and what foods produce inflammation so we can reduce inflammation. But there is the test route, and then there is the guess, because food sensitivity testing, a good food sensitivity test, is expensive. So working with a practitioner like us, we're able to do it in it takes longer, but we're able to do eliminations, and we'll be able to figure out what you should be feeling and if you eat a certain food and if that food doesn't jive with you. But testing is always the best way to go, because sometimes when a food doesn't jive with you, it's not always going to be obvious, like gas and bloating. It might be something very going under the radar because there's different, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. There's just different levels of inflammation that can cause. Sometimes it's very mild and sometimes it's more severe. So what this means to you, you should book an appointment with us, because we're here to help you. We're here to take that bio-individual approach, and we are here to make it easier so you can stop the guesswork and throwing stuff to the wall and seeing what sticks. I hope that this was a little bit encouraging in the sense of, if you've been to your OB and they don't have an answer for you of why you have painful periods, we would love to support you and help you figure out your health and support you with food as medicine. So if you have any questions though, I'm hopping off. Go ahead and leave them in the comments and I will get back to them as they roll in. So, and I will also put in the, it's in the status, is our link to book a free call with us. So you can make sure that you are taking your health back, and this free call is just a call with me. Yes, it's actually me, for 15 minutes, just to go over what you're looking for, what you're struggling with, and moving forward on what the best course of action and package should be. So thanks for hanging out with me. See you later.